most.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 108 of Report This Post, the podcast about bad posts and bad people. My name is Geiger, and that is Christian.
G'day, mate.
And we're your hosts with the posts. Every week, Christian and I select a different topic and then find horrible posts for your listening pleasure. And this week's topic is Australia. That's right. The good old, the big island, they call it.
Do they?
The big England, but dumber, I think is the official. It's on the flag. I think it says that, right? Okay.
What? The flag? No, it doesn't.
It doesn't say that. Okay. Oh, all right. I guess I was wrong about that information then. But this is a special episode because the topic for this episode was actually chosen by a listener named Claire.
That's right.
Who went to report this post at storeenvy.com and purchased her own episode topic. And even more special, Lily, today's episode is dedicated to the birthday boy Maddie.
We love you, Maddie. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Maddie. I'm assuming you're in Australia or have something to do with it.
Otherwise,
we didn't really grill Claire on why she decided to choose this as a birthday present for someone. It's her money to spend. But happy birthday, Maddie, and happy friendship to Claire and Maddie. Does that sound okay?
That's great.
Folks, if you want something that heartwarming, you yourself can go to reportthispost.storeenvy.com and purchase your own episode topic. The listeners have come up with some good episodes lately, haven't they?
Good is an interesting term, sure. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think we're going to just move right ahead to introducing our guest. So when we were told by Claire, instructed by her to choose Australia for a topic, we said we know exactly what to do for this. We're going to go to old friend of the show, a gentleman named Christian, who is living in Australia currently and I believe is from Australia. Is that correct?
Yeah, that is correct. I live in Australia. Thank you guys for picking me for this episode, and thank you to Claire as well for buying Maddie this episode. It's very nice of her.
Yeah, I'm sure that Maddie is just over the moon right now.
Maybe he'll finally pay attention to her now that she's bought him an episode of this podcast.
Yeah, now that she bought him an episode topic of his probably 15th favorite podcast.
Yeah, this is much better value for money than getting a cameo by fucking Rachel Dolezal. So
I forgot about that. Yeah, that's how unimportant that was to me. Boy, when was that? Was that last year?
That was 2 years ago.
Jesus Christ. Dig to the archives, folks. Maybe you'll find that somewhere. So anyway, Christian, thank you for joining us. Let's talk about Australia. Christian,
let's do it, yeah.
my Christian, co-host yeah. Christian. What is Australia? For those uninformed listeners at home, what exactly is Australia?
It's a continent.
Uh-huh. But it's also a country. That's the fun trivia we learned
that is,
in grade school here.
It's a sovereign country comprising the mainland of the Australian continent, the island of Tasmania, and numerous smaller islands. It is the largest country in Oceania and the world's sixth largest country by total area, with a population of 26 million. Holy shit.
Holy shit. And that's a lot, you think?
Yeah. Indigenous Australians inhabited the continent for about 65,000 years prior to the first arrival of Dutch explorers.
Yeah.
And then they just got wiped
Well,
out.
they're used as pets now, I believe, over there.
Jesus
that's
Christ,
not all
man.
bad for them. What's up? What? Hey, you're the bad person here. I'm the good guy. I'm pointing out colonialism or whatever it's called. Yeah, that sounds great. So Australia, big island. We had to bring Christian on because he has plenty of experience with it and experience with the show. And pleased to report that Christian was on time for this episode. We're super
You guys said
about it.
You guys said if I was at least like even 1 minute late that you're gonna replace me with my backup, which is Connor Golden. So
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get moving along. Before we get to the posts, Christians, I'm going to do a great honor to this great continent and country. Oh yeah, did you guys hear that?
Yeah.
I just cracked open. What's that?
What kind of beer is that?
This is a Foster's.
Fuck you.
It's the big. There's a kangaroo on the can. In case you didn't know, this is from Australia. What I noticed on the can is that it says brewed in the USA, which kind of takes away a little bit from the the whole thing, the whole reason why you would be enthralled with the idea of buying a Foster's beer. So, great. It's take a little sip here. I'm assuming both of you guys have your ceremonial Fosters as well.
I do. I have one here. You can hear it on the desk there. That's a big can. My God.
It sure is. It's like the continent itself. It's so big, right?
Great. Can we start?
Yeah, can we go to the post now? Jesus Christ.
Well, I think Christian should lead us off.
Sure. So, there's lots of culture in Australia. Fosters, like we just talked about. Crocodile Dundee, Men at Work. And user Snedgemaster posted about one of Australia's most famous cultural exports to Today I Fucked Up. Today I fucked up by trying to play my dad's didgeridoo. So, my dad has had this didgeridoo in the house since he visited his sister in Australia 10 plus years ago. The internet went down, so I was sort of wandering around looking for something to do when I spotted the didge. I thought to myself, in all these years, I've never actually tried to play it, and maybe it's time. I felt like I knew what I was doing, and that it was similar to playing a trumpet, and I wanted to play a long, loud note. I take a sharp inhale and immediately feel something hit the back of my throat. I sputter really hard, and a small white globular thing comes flying out and hits the floor. At first, I thought it was saliva and ignored it, as I had a weird sensation in my throat and mouth. It felt like tingling to start, but grew into more of a tickle on the inside of my cheeks and a bit on my gums. I glance down at the white stuff on the floor and see several baby spiders crawling out of it. The second I clock what's happening and I feel something tickling my top lip and slap my mouth. I have squished a spider on my lip and instantly go into panic mode. I run around into the bathroom and spit repeatedly into the sink to see other crushed spider bodies and some severed legs, some of which are still attached to parts of this body and are trying to drag themselves away from the plug hole. I urge several times and then frantically swill my mouth out with water. I don't think my mouth will ever feel normal again. And Aura Dater commented, "Didgeridoo don't."
I mean, that's a very Australian experience. Is just like, oh, I was trying to play me didgeridoo, got fucking spiders in my mouth.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
Just a daily occurrence.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if I'm being serious, every time I like go to put on shoes that I haven't worn for a while, you have to like check for spiders here.
Sure.
I don't know if you guys do that over there. You just kind of give them a bang.
No, it's not. No, we don't have that here.
Yeah, well, must be nice.
Yeah. No, we don't have that. We also don't have just didgeridoos lying around either. Generally,
just piled up around our house.
I do. It's interesting that this person, the didgeridoo was bought 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So these are like American spiders.
Yeah, they colonized.
For some reason, the didgeridoo is just a good hot spot for spiders, no matter what continent they're on.
I do enjoy the idea of someone being like, "Oh, the internet's down. Well, time to fucking finally learn that didge I've been having for 10 years."
Yeah,
That's
like
all it took.
how many options in the house have been exhausted by that point? Like,
Yeah,
every single hobby has been explored.
In this
and then there's
person's
just the
defense,
cobweb-covered didgeridoo. Like, all right, I guess I'll learn that.
the last time the internet went down at my house, I just started reading a People's History of United States by fucking...
Oh,
yeah, that's the level of boredom I had. I was like, yeah, I should just read
Jesus
this
Christ.
book I bought when I was like 17, so girls would see it and let me finger them.
Did it work?
No, I don't think books have ever impressed any girls.
No. You should get an Infinite Jest.
I do actually have a
seem to love
copy of
that thing
that
these
somewhere. Yeah.
Now, Aussie Christian, are you familiar with Outback Steakhouse?
All I know is that it has blooming onions, which is something I've never ever heard of.
Yeah.
yeah, that's right.
So Outback Steakhouse is a big time chain in America. It's Australian themed food. Started right here in Tampa, where Christian and I are blessed to live.
Do you guys ever eat there?
I went when I was younger with the family. I haven't been in a very long time. It's just
it's
your
not
typical chain restaurant type thing. But it's not like fast food. It's just like it's the higher end of shitty food. So there's no reason to eat there.
Is it like Bennigan's? What is Bennigan's? Is it like Bennigan's?
It's like Bennigan's, yeah.
Okay.
It's like a fancier Bennigan's, yeah. Famously, when they started it, the people who created Outback Steakhouse didn't know any Australian foods. They just decided to open up an Australian-themed steakhouse. So that's probably why there's bloomin' onions on the menu and God knows what else. But so anyway, I looked up some Outback Steakhouse stuff, and a gentleman on 4chan shared his experience in going to it for the very first time. Went to Outback. No waitstaff speaking with an Australian accent. No employee had freckles. No one was wearing an Outback hat. No puka necklaces. Waitress didn't call me a cunt. Waitress didn't throw a boomerang with order ticket into the kitchen. Cooks weren't wearing sleeveless khaki shirts. Foster's wasn't giving out complimentary like water. Building temp was cool. No massive insects or reptiles dragging customers away. Entire building was not upside down, and there were minorities everywhere. I've never been so disappointed in my entire fucking life.
I mean, I gotta say, I hate going out to eat at a fine dining establishment like Outback Steakhouse, and there's just minorities. It's just crawling with minorities.
Yeah, you're expecting big bugs and marsupials everywhere, but instead there's minorities. Forget it.
There's an Asian family. Oh, that's too much for crocodiles. I can take, but
yeah, I mean,
a bunch of Asians having a birthday party. I'm out of here. Forget it.
I mean, the one realistic thing about that post is being disappointed that you didn't get called a cunt, because it's it's very casual here. Like, honestly, I'm going to work tonight, and I could easily just be like, "Oh, how you doing, cunt?" to like a customer, and it would be fine. It would be fine. It would completely fly. Like, I'm not even kidding. It would 100% be fine.
I'm not sure. What's the equivalent over here with that?
I don't know.
You guys don't
know.
really have
fucker?
an
Yeah,
equivalent.
fucker's probably it. I would say fucker. Yeah.
No, fucker's like, when I picture fucker, I picture like Stifler's brother in American Pie saying it. But cunt is just kind of like laid back here. It's like, oh, how you doing, cunt? How's your day been?
It sounds better when you say, because you like almost lose the T, like whereas when we're screaming it at women, we really get that T in there. Cunt.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can still like, if you're having an argument with your girlfriend or something, if you say cunt, you can still kind of like give it its teeth, you know?
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Oh my god!
and that
like,
still
don't
that
ever
still works over there.
Don't ever stop me from watching my Hitchcock, you fucking cunt. It still works. That's when like a woman's trying to get in the way of you watching some good ass Hitchcock, bro.
Yeah, you got some Criterion collection you're burning through, and she's on your ass about paying attention to her.
I'm pregnant.
Yeah.
Like, oh my
Would you get out with it,
Man,
in front of the damn TV?
I'm so sick of watching like fucking Below Deck and Bravo reality shows. Like, just let me watch some Criterion, dude. Fuck.
Oh boy. Yeah, that hits a little too close to home. Now, Christian, why don't you read a post that you found?
So I'd like to clarify that all my posts are just like, I know the topic's Australia, but I live in Australia, so anything that I post is just basically, it counts. But
it doesn't matter if it's actually related to Australia. It's just it happened in Australia.
Correct.
So you count it as an Australian post. Okay.
Yeah, you made fun of me for this in the group chat, but whatever. I'm not getting paid.
That's right.
I haven't even got my free T-shirt yet, so
that order's
What?
just sitting there. I gotta take care
Was
of
that
it.
a thing?
I was gonna do that.
Oh,
yeah, I know, right?
Okay.
So this
I
is a
see
post.
the subordinate did not check with his manager before deciding to do that.
I was gonna pay for
Interesting.
it, you freak.
It's more about the precedent being set,
Okay, all right. What's the post?
So I'm subscribed to the Reddit r/Brisbane, which is the city I live in, and I found a post that was a group looking for D&D players, which was essentially Single Christian's wet dream a few months ago. So the post reads as follows. Hi fellow Brisbaneites, we are looking to start a new 5th edition D&D campaign and need about 3 more players to make up the party. At this stage, to balance out the party, we would prefer males as we already have 4 females. Must be kink friendly, as there would be plenty of kink-based jokes, so we don't want to offend anyone. So yeah, over and under the total weight of those 4 women in that D&D party, what do you guys think it is?
I think they're all probably beautiful, handsome women, no doubt.
Curvaceous.
Yeah. Well, we did a whole episode about D&D, and there was a few of these type of weirdos involved. I mean, it makes sense. Like, if you're going to be spending like how many? It's like what 13-hour campaigns every day to play D&D. Like, there's got to be like a fuck break at some point, right? I mean, isn't that how that works?
Yeah, hey,
Whenever you hang out with friends for a few hours, eventually you just got to start fucking if it's too long.
I love like when I start playing D&D at like 12 on a Sunday, and then I have to go into work and I have to call my boss and be like, "Hey, sorry, I can't come in. My polyamorous D&D kink-friendly group. We need to finish this campaign."
Yeah.
You're in the car on like video chat doing your thing.
Boy,
I'll tell you what.
The smell
At this point, I'm open to anything. So
yeah.
Tell you what, Christian, you send me that link. I'll just respond. I'll get my plane ticket all set up, and we'll see what these ladies what we can bang out there.
You can just watch the polyamory fuckfest on Zoom.
I'm good. All right. Well, user Anonymous posted in our coronavirus. Victorians are refusing COVID-19 testing because they think it's a conspiracy. This is not at all surprising, and this exists everywhere. My brother's friends in Adelaide seem to think that there's some conspiracy too, and attacked him when he tried to encourage them all to download the COVID Safe app. I think Australians take for granted our general trust of our government. A lot of migrants come from countries where the government can't be trusted and is incredibly corrupt. My parents, having been raised in a communist country their whole lives, tend to also love a good conspiracy theory, particularly when it involves the government. Mm-hmm. And a now deleted user commented, "As a Victorian, I can safely tell you it's 5G. Hands down, 5G is causing it. I personally am switching back to my old brick Nokia. Can't get the 5G virus if you don't use 5G.
Okay. The 5G, we've briefly touched on the 5G thing. Still haven't really looked into it, but like, do either of you know exactly what the fuck people are talking about with this 5G? How the hell is it a virus thing exactly?
The towers infect you. See, it sounds like something from the fucking Tommy Knockers or something. It's like, there's some power in it.
Right. Why are the 5G the bad ones and not like 4G? Why not LTE or any of those other? Why is it 5G suddenly? That's like the bad one.
It's the new thing. It's something new for people to be afraid of.
Yeah, I don't think there's any actual science behind it. I think someone probably just made like a really shitty infographic and posted it on Facebook.
Yeah.
Like that's how all this stuff works now, is if you can get like maybe 10 like 40 plus year old people that don't really use the computer that much that have Facebook to see it, then it just becomes a thing.
Spreads like wildfire.
Yeah, for real.
They go into work the next day and they're like, "Oh shit, did you know what I saw?" And the infographic was built. It's like 1,000. It's 1,000 by 1,000 pixels, and it's been saved out to like 200 by 200, so it's grainy as shit. You can barely make it out.
Yeah, no. One of my mom's friends the other night. Apparently, like my mom had this dinner party, and one of my mom's friends was talking about how she like lost one of her best friends to like QAnon.
Yeah.
So it's like it's already a thing in Australia. It's fucking terrifying.
Hell yeah.
We did a QAnon episode, right?
Yeah, we did way back.
Oh my god, that was. It's amazing how much has happened since then. Like the
Yeah,
QAnon's one you could refresh every once in a while.
You should definitely revisit that because I've literally seen like QAnon graffiti near my house. It's insane how like widespread it is now.
That is crazy. I've definitely seen a couple bumper stickers here, which I would expect to have seen a lot more because this is like Trump. This is Trump country. Some parts of where we're at.
By the way, have you guys done the COVID test at all?
Yeah, I just got my results back. I'm clear.
I have not.
Yeah, I've not done it either. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't really care. If whatever. If it takes me, then
Yeah.
great.
Geiger's just looking for an out. So
anything that will take me out, or at the very least, my family. So, speaking of conspiracies, this post is from our conspiracy. Australia has gone mad. Go on the Facebook group Million Rises for Australia and watch the Gestapo 2.0 working. It is terrifying, unreal, all of it. I feel bad for you guys stuck in Victoria. Sounds like hell. For a little more context, another user named Loose Cunt explained what's going on down under. I'm from Melbourne. We have a completely brainwashed, do the right thing public. Utterly too scared to stand out in any way. Our state premier recently made himself a legal dictator and has completely sold the state to China with the silent consent of the federal government. State infrastructure is Chinese funded. Our universities are Chinese student funded. Chinese students are still allowed in and out of the state. Housing market is held up by Chinese investment. Also, our national leader, Scott Morrison, is of course the other wing of the same bird and has already brought the rights to the, quote, vaccine and is on record saying, as mandatory as possible. Anyone worried about a globalist takeover can well and truly mark Australia down as lost. Finally, what Victoria dose the country follows. It shows the country listen to what we say or else. That forces the entire country to get on board with the vaccination plan as our country cannot operate forever with the Victorian border shut down and the economy switched off. So that's a lot there. We're going to talk to Christian in a second about how accurate that is, but a lot of people agreed with the OP there. It's our conspiracy. But here's a response from user SpookBra. Is anyone even from Australia here? You guys sound like retards. But an Aussie named Flying Crane Kick responded, not all of us are retarded, just most of us.
That's right.
Checks out.
Correct.
So we can affirm at least that part right there. Okay, good.
Yeah. Melbourne right now is like pretty fucked up. I will say, but I mean the good thing about that is like all the other states, like where I live, is perfectly fine. I work in a bar and it's been open for like 3 or 4 months now. It's like back to normal. But the good thing about that is everyone from Melbourne is kind of like a smug, pretentious dickhead, and they're all like, "Oh, we're the art capital of Australia." So it's good. It's good that they're all fucked up now and they can never brag again.
They're really getting what was owed to them.
Honestly, man, fuck them. Fuck their fucking laneway cafes. I'm fucking glad they're all trapped indoors and suffering. They deserve it.
I thought, okay, what's the stereotype about Perth? Because I thought Perth was like the cool artsy one.
No, Perth is just basically like a mining town. Like it's like a big city, but pretty much everyone that lives there is rich and works in like the mining industry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
I gotta take
update
note.
your spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think
Perth's really nice though. It's a great little town. Great little town.
Yeah. Huh. Mm-hmm. I don't think I've ever figured out the difference between Melbourne and Sydney. I've always assumed they were the same place. I don't. When I picture Melbourne, I see the Sydney Opera House. So, and you know what? I'm fine with that. I don't really. There's no
just
reason
like
to
New
separate
York and
them.
Baltimore are the same exact sport.
That's right.
It's basically
They really
the
are.
same.
I'll put it this way: like you move to Melbourne from Brisbane, and you become like a polyamorous dumpster diving vegan. You move to Sydney from Brisbane, and then you get like a blue tick on Twitter, and you start harassing people.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's hard
Right,
to
well,
tell
we
which
know we're
one's
moving.
better. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I've got a post from the subreddit Ask an Aussie. A user asked about how Australians feel about New Zealand, and a user called Muff420 said, you know those families where there is two sons and the older son is bigger, more handsome and is successful, and the younger brother is borderline retarded but better at sports? New Zealand is our little tard. And then someone called Echo Spy replied, I fucking hate that word, but like, I have to admit it's completely true. To which Muff replied with, to be fair, it's not even the proper use of the word. Retard means to slow things to a point of basically a full halt, like the term retardant fire. Retardant fire, I can't read. I think it was used to talk about, and he follows up with, I think it was used to talk about mentally disabled people to describe their rate of learning before they knew much about them. And
idiots trying to figure out what retard is.
Yeah.
he finishes off with one of the best lines ever. But I'll keep using it. I hate bubble wrap society way more than offensive words.
God damn.
Bubble
Yeah.
wrap society.
So Muff420,
Yeah.
DM me and I will put you in the Big Boys Irony group chat.
That's right. He'll fit right into that chat. Oh, I don't know. He might be. There's still a purity to him. I can tell that if he goes too many 20 minutes in that chat, he's that's it. That's just the rest of his life is going to be someone who's very casually throwing the N-word around. And what's
just
that?
Very casually. just slipping it in there.
Yeah. So. I refrained from looking up New Zealand stuff, and it seems like a cool place. I don't know. Is it? I mean, to you guys, is it like, you know? Because it's like just a quick little jaunt, but because it seems like the same place as far as I can tell. Just like,
well, I think
prettier.
isn't it a little bit? There's more like nature stuff. There's more trees and stuff.
Yeah.
It's more green, it seems.
Yeah, I don't
And
actually. My opinion on New Zealand is it's pretty cool, but like all of the doors when you enter the houses are way too small.
Because they're hobbits.
Because
Is that
they're
the joke?
hobbits. Is
That's
that?
right. Yeah. No, it's
All
really
right.
nice. It's great people, friendly, not hobbits.
Hobbits who are known to be just horrid.
Yeah.
horrid
Well, have you guys
creatures.
have
that's
seen like the haka, right? Like the sports dance that New Zealand does.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, that shit's fucking dumb, but
It's
know.
pretty gay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Okay, you guys go. You go tell the Maori guys that shit's gay. Like, go to a bunch of like 350-pound Maori guys
no.
and be like, "That you guys look like fags," and just
Whoa! When I said gay, I meant good, because that's clearly you think being gay is bad. So I think that's very interesting.
Okay. Speaking of bad, user White Dingo 11 posted why Australia should start an
Jesus.
Australian Nazi party.
as soon as you
To
said
the
White
boards.
Dingo 11, I was like, oh, here we go.
To the boards over on stormfront.org.
Oh yeah.
The white people of Australia need a voice to fight all threats to our race. Australia needs National Socialism and therefore an Australian Nazi party. True Nazism and not skinhead National Socialism. True National Socialism, like Hitler wrote about in his book Mein Kampf, and like what they had back in the golden age of Germany. It should fight for National Socialist ideals, such as a white nation and ending usury. It should be like the American Nazi Party, but for Australia. Thanks, Dad. The Day of Vengeance responded, "Why don't you organize something like that then?" To which the OP replied, "Because I am not yet old enough to run for government." Oof. And Last True Aussie, whose avatar is an image of Jesus with Trump's head photoshopped onto it, added, "The media would have a field day. We need to be sneaky, like the Jews."
Jesus, man.
So we must become our enemies in order to overthrow them.
Well, the Jews figured it out. They are everywhere in every fucking part of life, so they know what to do. So you might as well.
I think I'm gonna start a new trend on Twitter where I do like those front-facing camera videos where I talk about like how if you go to a guy's house and he has a copy of Mein Kampf, you shouldn't fuck him.
Yeah,
that's actually a pretty good bit. You would get quote tweeted by like some woman with giant glasses and be like, "Is this guy for real?" And then like a bunch of other women would be like, You
know what would be really great is if you did that video and you don't mention it, but you have a Hitler mustache and you list off books that are written by Jews, and you never say explicitly why you're saying those names. Christian, make note of that. I will do that for the patrons at some point.
Tomorrow. I got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So speaking of politics in Australia, they have those down there now. They do these. Yeah, they like to do their cute little thing where they, pretend they matter. But an Australian senator named Sterling Griff from the Centre Alliance Party made an impassioned speech before Australian Parliament earlier this year. Let's get a whiff of what he said right here. My staff recently alerted me to a series that was distributed in Australia by Madman Entertainment called Sword Art Online. Sword Art Online appears in various media platforms from light novels, manga, anime, and video games. The series takes place in the near future and focuses on protagonists Kirito and Asuna as they play through virtual reality worlds. One particular episode of Sword Art Online Extra Edition has an M classification, which allows children under 15 to legally access the material. The movie undoubtedly features the abuse of children. In one explicit scene that takes place in the virtual world, the character Asuna is raped by her captor Sugu, who threatens to also rape her in the real world, where she is lying in a hospital room in a catatonic state. The rape, incredibly, is referred to as a, quote, fun party. Asuna is described as a 17-year-old girl. Further research by my staff uncovered another series called No Game, No Life. This series is hypersexualized and features incest themes between brother and sister Sora and Shiro. The worst anime my office discovered is Aeromanga Sensei. This series features 12-year-old Sagiri, who draws pornographic manga while her 15-year-old stepbrother writes the books. Revealing clothing and sexually provocative poses are frequently depicted throughout the series, with the characters seen copying these poses and referring to genitalia. This series also heavily features incest themes, and many scenes are so disturbing I just can't describe them. The rape of children is abundant in manga, like the series Goblin Slayer, which in my office we showed to a number of people today, and they were absolutely horrified. In Goblin Slayer, children are often portrayed as frightening or resisting, but they're also shown as enjoying sexual abuse, enjoying it. As I've said, experts say that pedophiles are using this material to groom children. Have a look at this. This is normal, they'll say. It is certainly not normal.
Okay.
Looked more into this guy, and apparently he's the deputy chair of Select Committee on Autism, which explains the big-time anime focus with this big speech he did.
So what do you do at work? I watch child rape anime for 12 hours a day.
I'm actually
why do you do
the anime appraiser?
And why do you do? Oh, it's to keep kids safe. Somebody.
Yeah, I like this. This guy's like, my staff alerted me. It wasn't my own finding. It was definitely
wasn't the RSS feed I have set up on my computer.
Yeah. I love the idea of like interviewing for a job with this guy, and he's like, "All right, let me show you something really quick." And he just puts on this, he like puts on Goblin Slayer, and he keeps like looking back at you like when a friend shows you a YouTube video, and he's like, "Yeah, fucked up, right?
Yeah,
fucked up, dude."
Pretty nuts, man. Anyway, you'll start tomorrow. You will not be getting paid. Thank you. Let's look up Goblin Slayer. I want to look it up right now. Let's see. All right. So apparently, according to fandom.com, Goblin Slayer is the series' titular main character. Okay, so I clicked on the character, not the name, and not the. Okay, so let me. Okay. In the world of fantasy, adventurers come far and wide to join the guild in order to complete contracts for whatever jobs are available. An inexperienced priestess joins her first adventuring party but comes into danger after her first adventure contract involving goblins went wrong. After the rest of her party is slaughtered, she is saved by a man known as Goblin Slayer, an adventurer whose only purpose is the eradication of goblins with extreme prejudice. So somehow that has turned into 15-year-old twins being raped or whatever the fuck is going on.
Good God.
Japan has some issues.
Yeah, a little bit.
We should we should bomb those guys again, would be my thought.
Okay.
Satire. Can I get in trouble for saying we should nuclear bomb a country?
Yeah, that was actually a legal threat by Geiger, and I'd like to distance myself by that.
Look, just because I have these bombs doesn't mean I'm going to use them.
God, what a horrible thought that is.
I found a really good review of a Chinese food takeaway place in my city that I thought you guys would enjoy.
Okay.
And it states, although the food wasn't the worst I've eaten, the service is appalling. They gave us the wrong order, and when I phoned them, the very rude lady kept saying I need to state pickup or delivery. After again explaining to her that my order was wrong, she hung up on me and refused to answer the phone for 10 minutes. I called on another phone when she answered and refused to fix the order, and after threatening to contact the ACCC and make a bad review, she rudely told me to come and pick up the new order, which I now have to waste my time and fuel on to pick up. Yeah, fuel's really expensive here. And she continues on with, I went to get my correct order, and she was not interested in either giving me the correct order or even giving me back my original order. She told me to leave, so I did, and then as I was leaving, the male and female owner both attacked me. I was violently beaten by both of them, being punched over 20 times to the head, neck, spine, and ribs with his fists and a weapon she possessed. They are being charged with assault. I never get my food at the end. And I was assaulted. I would avoid this place as the staff are violent and extremely rude.
3 stars. Yeah.
I love that
20
review.
times in the head.
I love that review starts with like, although the food wasn't the worst, and then divulges into, I was punched over 20 times in the head, neck, spine, and ribs.
Yeah. And follows up, they're being charged with assault, and I never even got my food.
Yeah, I mean, you got to take an L every once in a while, I guess. I mean, I would have just, if the food came and it was wrong, I would simply just eat the food and forget.
I would love to know what the review would be if she did also get the food after being punched 20 times. I'm just like, but to be fair,
Well, I mean, one of my all-time, this is kind of on topic, but one of my all-time favorite reviews, I can't remember it exactly. I wish I still had the screen cap, but it was like a Brisbane club, like a dance club. And it was a 4-star review, and it was like, this place is great, friendly environment. My friend accidentally got stabbed by a needle here. 4 stars.
Well, the reviewer didn't get stabbed. It was their friend.
That's true.
So.
Yeah, true.
Oh, my God. 3 stars if that person themselves would have gotten stabbed by the needle.
You got to rate on a scale,
Sometimes you go to the club and you just contract HIV from being stabbed by a needle, and that's 1 star off, fam.
Who among us, right? Well, speaking of Chinese reviews, this is a review for a Chinese takeaway place in Australia by a guy named Serb King. A little Freudian slip there. Mm-hmm. Where do I start? My wife said that this was the best Chinese food she's ever tasted, and I agree. Super fast, super fresh, excellent. But don't take my words lightly. I once served a very long time in prison, and while serving this time, I became very good friends with some Chinese and Vietnamese. Long story short, upon my release, I was given multiple nightclubs in Sydney City. Asian nightclubs. In the time I spent running these clubs in Sydney alongside my Asian friends, I spent many, many nights and mornings in the best Chinese restaurants Sydney has to offer, and I mean money was no object. A table of 20 of us, thousands of dollars. Unbelievable. Long story short, so I promise you, you are in the terrace and are Googling a Chinese restaurant for dinner. You come here. On par with the big boys in Sydney. 5 stars.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I really heard there's like a Chinese guy that's friends with like a white guy, and he's like just brags about having a white friend. He's like, yeah, we ate hot dogs the other day, bro.
I was in prison with these white guys. They taught me how to make grilled cheese on the back of the radiator. It was great.
We don't want a shortened version of the long story when the story starts with I was in prison and then I was given multiple nightclubs. We need to know what happened in between.
I was entrusted with looking over multiple Asian nightclubs.
Yeah, I love that he's like, yeah, multiple nightclubs, and then in its own line it just says Asian nightclubs. Full
Like
stop.
a little wink. Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying. What the hell did this guy do to earn all these Asian nightclubs?
It's like honorary Yakuza. That rocks.
And that'll do it for the free preview of the Australia episode. Thanks again to Christian from Down Under for joining us. Thanks to Claire for selecting this topic for birthday boy Maddie. You too can choose a topic for the show. Go to reportthispost.storenvy.com or go to patreon.com/reportthispost. You can choose a tier that allows you to pick a topic. Plus, of course, you'll hear the entire episode, plus all the other full episodes since we switched over to this wonderful, very beloved format, starting with episode 100. Good eye, everybody.